Welcome back, 5th grade, and welcome to week 4. This project that we're going to do today is called the cactus project. It's fall, and sometimes people think of other things in the fall. I like to have fun with cactuses as well. So we're going to carry on with our line type of scenarios, and let's get started. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a shape like a half a circle. Now I'm doing this with pencil first because I want to make sure that if you have to erase, you can. So select the letter C, half a letter C, just like that. Then I'm going to come across just like this. Now, if you want to be fancy and you want to make I'm just going to show you like real lightly how you can do that if you want to create your pot that's open, more open than not open. Okay, so now let's start making our cactuses. So I'm going to make 3 different types of cactus. So the first one I'm going to create is going to have a shape like a circle, a half a circle like that. Then I'm going to create another one on top and a smaller one just like that. So they're like staggered on top of each other, as you see. Okay. Then the next one I'm going to have is going to be straight up and down like this. I'm not going to go all the way off the page, but I'm going to go just like that. So that way you see, and I kind of brought it so that way it's beside the other one, but I still have room to create things within that cactus. So that's why I did it like that. Okay. So the next one is going to be like the cactus that you're used to seeing in the desert. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing that we did before. We'll watch. I'm going to come out like this. I'm going to come around like this. And I'm going to come in like this. Now for this one, because of the shape that it has, I'm going to come out, up, and around. So it's going to kind of come behind it a little bit. And then this one is going to do the same. Up, around, and like that. Okay? So, for our 2 cactuses, you can do the pricklies. So, say for instance, on this one, I might decide to do the pricklies like this. Okay? Same thing with this. I can do like this. And like that. Now, what I'd like to do is I'm going to go ahead and outline things right now. So that way I don't have to worry about outlining later. Now I'm going to actually put a table line behind that like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and come around, trace out all of my lines that I just did. Try your best to trace it. And I'm just going to do the one that comes across. So I'm going to erase that little half a circle or the shape that I did to show the inside of the bowl. So here we go. Go ahead and finish tracing. You see I went a little around the other line, so I'll go back and erase, but I'm going to go ahead and that's why I like to just go ahead and do that first, so that way you can create your lines how you want to. Little pricklies. And I'm going to make sure to go back and erase all that. All right, so this one I'm going to go like this. Create lines going down. And what kind of lines are those that we talked about last week? I'm sure that everybody should remember that those are vertical lines. Okay, you can do the same thing and create small little, and these are lines too. These are diagonal lines. Okay, they can even come out like that. Okay, so my next cactus is going to be the one that's like the 10-gallon hat one. Now I'm going to come up a little bit more and stretch out like this. than I did when I outlined it the first time with my pencil line. Okay, so this time I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go like this. And you can do your diagonals however you want to. You can cluster them. And then you can also have them to stagger out of the cactus itself. Okay, so now we've done that. All right, now sometimes cactuses have flowers. So I'm going to do like this and create an oval shape like this. And then I'm going to come in like this to create a flower. Okay. All right. And if you want to create another flower, you can. Okay. So there's my flower. And some flowers are also on the larger ones, like that. Okay. Now, a lot of times if I do my flowers, I'm going to do them before I decide to do all those lines that I've done. So let's go ahead now and erase our lines that we have here. All of our pencil lines, let's get rid of them. Because now we're going to go ahead and get started on detailing the pot. All right, so I'm getting rid of all those yucky pencil lines that we have. All right, so I need to get a little brush so that way I can make sure that they're all gone. All right, so as you see, I have no pencil lines showing, no pencil lines. Okay, all right, so now we're going to go ahead and get started on the design of the pot. So I'm going to bring that down some. Now, I'm going to go like this and create a line that goes across. Then I'm going to create a zigzag line like this. Okay, then I might do a dash circle line like this. And then I might do some vertical lines going like this. Okay, so then I might decide to do a wavy line like this. And a parallel wavy line like this. Okay, then I might decide to do some smaller circles that still are going into a line like that. And I mean, you can do whatever you want. I'm going to do some dashed lines. Okay, then I might decide to do and then go like this. Okay, so now I have designs on my pot as well. Now, sometimes I will add designs down here and here on other projects, but because I think the pot is busy enough, we don't want to do too much. Okay, so now this is where you can use colored pencil and crayon to color in. I like to do that with these types of projects because I don't like to use a lot of marker, because I feel like marker does a lot of running. And it kind of bleeds a lot, so I definitely like to use crayons, and I love to use the crayons that have like lots of color. So let's get started, and we know which colors are in our cactus. Now, if you have watercolors at home and you like to do watercolor with it, you can go like this and do the outside to kind of color it in like that and then start watercoloring. But I like to make sure that my outside color is darker than my inside color. So you see I'm doing everything on the outside, kind of giving it like a shadow effect. So I'm doing my outside first, like that. I'm going to come the same way with this one. And like I said, if you go over top of it with watercolor, it really does some fun stuff. And I'm sure most of the 5th graders remember using watercolors. So, all right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use my colored pencil. I'm going to use a different colored pencil so that way I get a variation of color. Now, it would be really cool if you had some kind of, I know we haven't gotten into texture yet, but when we get into texture, if you had something underneath here of your paper and you went over top of it, it could show that the texture of the cactus has like bumpy bumps in it. Okay, so that color is there, and then we're going to add, I'm going to add an even lighter one beside that, or it might be a little, yeah, it's still a little different. Yep. So there we go. So that way you have a little other variation of your green beside that. Okay. Now I'm going to switch it up again, and I'm going to do the darker color on the outside here on one side of my cactus. I'm going to do the same thing like this. I'm going to alternate. I'm going to alternate again. I do this because I feel like it's for your grade, and even beyond that, you should be able to vary your colors and your values, so that way you don't have the same value for each particular color for something. So now I'm going to use my lighter shade again. We're going to go in and just color in like that. Okay, and you can kind of tell, so you can see it. All right, same thing again here. I'm going to do the outside edge. Outside edge. And I use my crayon to the side, as you see. The side of the crayon, and to try to get that in. So here we go. All right, and I'm going to do the same thing I did before, but I might have a lighter, I have different colored greens on my, but they look kind of the same if you look at it the way we're looking at it in the light. But they're really, see, 3 different shades of green colored pencil. Okay, so I'm going to go in a little darker with that one so you can see the difference. Okay, all right, a little darker on there. So now I'm going to go and take care of my flowers real quick, and then we can go ahead and get into the background. So I'm just going to go ahead and you see here, I'm just going to do one color there, but I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to kind of add a little bit of a darker edge. Okay, I'm going to create pink on the flowers. One side I'm going to pick one color again, and then I'm going to follow it up with another color to change that out a little bit. You see my little pencil points are breaking because they were so super sharp. Okay. Same thing with this flower. I think I'm going to make this flower like a purplish. So I'm going to go on the outside first. All right. And then I'm going to change it up a little bit and grab Okay, all right. Now, background. Let's see. I'd like for my background to be an orange color, kind of vibrant with the fall. So I'm going to go ahead and do the background. Get all that done. I got to get in between there. Got to get behind here. All the way to the bottom here. Okay. And if you want it to be brighter, you can. It's up to you. All right. Now let's do the floor. I think I'm going to do the floor in like a brownish color. Let me take and remove this from behind here because this is giving me a ridge on my paper. So there we go. All right. Well, this one is kind of a rust. Not even really a brown, but it's rust. Okay, so all right, there we go. So that's that. Now I'm going to have fun with my doing my detail of my pot. Now I can pick some different colors. So say for instance, I might want to alternate colors. I can. Kind of makes it colorful when I do that. Okay. Now the yellow, if you can see it, it'll show up a little bit. We're going to talk about when we do color, warm and cold colors, because I'm using a variation of different colors, but we'll talk about how warms and cool colors are set up and how they work. Because red is definitely a warm, so is yellow, blue is cool, green is cool. Okay, and if you look behind, you see my paper they have some texture going on behind it. I don't know if it's because of the paper itself, but it does. All right, let's see what color I'm going to pick next. Maybe a gray. If you hear some barking, I have to apologize. That's my dog. Okay, and then just finish it out here. I'm just going to kind of go across and finish. Yep, he's barking. There's something he hears outside, and it's okay. He's a good protector dog, so he's going to make sure that we stay protected in here. All right, so my little dots here, I'm going to color those in a different color blue. Okay, and these up here, I'm going to color these a little different color. They're going to be green. Bear, are you trying to get in on this lesson with me? Is that what you're trying to do? I think you are. I really think he is. So I'm going to alternate these colors again. Down here at the bottom. And then I'm going to close out with some blue here. Alright, so friends, if you look here, and then of course you can sign the bottom, so that way when you're in Artsonia, we know when you did your work and how you did your work, but you can sign it. And as you see, I'm all done here, and I hope that you all are able to keep up with me and have fun, and I'll see you next week for week 5. Okay? Thanks so much. Talk to you soon. See you next week.